Okay, the midpoint of the segment AB is 2, 0. If the coordinates of A are -3, 3, what are the coordinates of B? All right, so we're given that the midpoint is this one, and we have one of the endpoints. Okay, so let's start off with what the midpoint formula is and go from there. Midpoint formula is x1 plus x2 divided by 2. It's the average of those. And the y1 plus y2 divided by 2 is the average of the y's. And we have one of these values, so this is the midpoint. This is the answer to those. And I'll call this one x1. That's the first x value, and y1. That's the first y value. So I'll plug everything in, and we'll see what happens. So we need to look at these separately. I'll go ahead and do x first. So let's look at the x's. So x1 plus x2 divided by 2 is equal to the x midpoint. All right, so I'll call this x midpoint, and then that's the y midpoint. All right, so I'll just plug everything in, and we'll solve it. So x1 is -3. x2 is what I'm looking for. It's divided by 2, and then that's equal to the midpoint for x, which is 2. All right, now we're solving here. So we're trying to get x by itself. The first thing we want to do is get rid of this divide by 2. It's trapping everything here. I'll switch my colors a little bit. So to get rid of that divide by 2, the opposite of divide by 2 is to multiply by 2. What you do to one side, you do to the other. We now have -3 plus x2 is equal to 4. Add 3. Add 3. x2 is equal to 7. All right, I got my first one. So x2 is 7. All right, we need to do the same thing for y. I'll see if I have enough room over here. Let me go back to red. So the equation is y1 plus y2 divided by 2 is equal to the y midpoint. All right, so y1 is 3 plus y2, that's what we're looking for, divided by 2, that's the average idea, equals y midpoint. The y midpoint is 0. Okay, so same game. We need to get rid of that divide by 2. The opposite of divide by 2 is to multiply by 2. I do that to both sides, times 2 times 2. And I get the 2's cancel, and I get 3 plus y2 equals 0. And -3 minus 3 is over here. And I get y2 is equal to -3. All right, I think I got everything. So I'll just go ahead and write it as a final answer. So my coordinates of B is the coordinates x2, 7, y2, -3. So the key is writing out the formula, marking and labeling everything, and then plugging it into the formula and letting the algebra take over. So parenthesis 7, comma, -3, in parenthesis, enter. Got it. And we are doing the algebraic method, and all the steps are the same. And they have a graphical method down here.